Yo, welcome back. Today is going to be a little bit of a different sort of devlog. I sort of realized that in the past few devlogs, I haven't really explained, what the hell this game is going to be. And even more importantly, why I'm making a game in the first place. So, that's what we're going to do today. Fair warning, this video is kind of going to be a bit of a rant. And it's not really going to cover any new development, but it's going to be fucking chill, It's going to be just some yarns, I'll have some fucking gameplay in the background. You just kick back, relax, enjoy it. But if you don't want to hear that, then, feel free to fuck off. But anyway, here we go. I'm going to start off right from the beginning. Imagine me. It was the start of year 11. For you Americans, I think that's like your 10th grade. Anyway, there I was. This awkward as fuck, acne-ridden, slightly annoying teenager, and I was deciding my courses for the upcoming year. Now, one of the courses I wanted to take for that year was animation. I always liked art, and it just seemed a lot more interesting than the other subjects I could choose, like physics or history or all those other boring people subjects. The problem, however, was that to do animation, you had to take computer science, or coding. And to me, I always thought coding was some nerdy, mathy, icky, lame bullshit. But I took it anyway because I was pretty set on doing animation. And to my complete surprise, it was nerdy, mathy, and icky, but it was fucking fun. Now, I'm a very creative person, and the whole premise of coding is you're given a problem, like make a program to order groceries on, and that's it. The rest is open game. There are a gazillion different ways to solve the problem, and it's entirely up to you. It is one of the most creative and rewarding things because at the end of it, you actually have a working, visible outcome that you made. Yeah, it may be a shitty grocery ordering program that will never be used by anyone, but it's your shitty grocery ordering program. Anyways, I continued to take programming and animation throughout the rest of high school, and it came to the final year, my senior year, and my teacher in the first lesson was just like, this year, you're gonna pick one thing to do, and that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna make that shit, and 100% of your grades are gonna be based on it. And I remember looking around, and everyone was freaking out. It's a big-ass commitment to see something through for an entire year. And if there's one thing teenagers suck at, it's commitment. Anyways, I was actually pretty pumped, because immediately, I knew what I wanted to make. A dope-ass fucking video game. I loved coding. Animation was alright, and I already spent most of my free time making music and recording shit, so sound effects and music wouldn't be a problem. And I was also a tad bit of a gamer back then myself. I had this fucking 17-inch mobile gaming setup that I used to use in class, and I was a bit of a rebel. I'd be sitting in math, and they'd be doing their soccer towers and their E=MC², and I would be slaughtering children on PUBG and max settings. So what I mean by all this is that the game making process was almost perfect to me. So I got home and I was buzzing. I was pumped. I had like a million ideas for what my epic game would be. But the best games are derived from ideas of other games. So I thought to myself, what was my favorite moment in any video game that I've ever played? And it was the first day and night in Minecraft. Anyone's first night in Minecraft, in my opinion, is the most immersive and scary as shit experiences you'll have gaming. The first day, you spawn into your Minecraft world and your first thought is like, oh shit, I gotta make a house, I gotta make some weapons, else I'm gonna fucking die when nighttime comes. And that's what you do. You scramble around chopping trees, mining stones, crafting tools, all to build yourself a house so you don't pop a dead when nighttime comes. And then when it does, you spend the whole time freaking out. I remember when I was a kid, if nighttime came and I didn't have a house by then, I used to just dig a hole 3 blocks below me and then just hide in there till day came. Now this experience is completely driven by the player's fears and instincts. The player is fearful of night because at night there's monsters, and this is what drives them. And that is why the first day and night of Minecraft is so gripping, so immersive, because the game doesn't explicitly tell you to do anything. There's no tutorial, no hints. It's entirely driven by the player and their fears. And that feels not only immersive to the player, but rewarding, as everything they do has been up to them. So, when coming up with an idea for my game, I wanted to capture this experience. You know, this panic to create defenses and tools and weapons to prepare for threats. But how do you expand this idea, this feeling, into an entire game? My solution to that is to have the player constantly on the move, constantly preparing for new threats. The core gameplay loop I want to create with my game is the player enters a new area and there is an obstacle stopping them from progressing. For example, a pack of wolves, a boss enemy, a group of soldiers, a massive boulder that needs to be destroyed with explosives. And to overcome this, the player must gather resources around the area, craft better equipment, better armor, better weapons, and this process will take a while, so they have to make a small base to protect themselves from enemies that spawn at night. And eventually, once they've acquired enough equipment, they can overcome this obstacle and move to a new area. And this will create constant movement. The player has to keep adapting to new environments, keep building new defenses based on the different risks and enemies each area has to offer. To visualize this, I'm going to give you an example of what the first area I've started creating will look like. Keep in mind that this is the first area and it sort of serves as more of a tutorial. However, it is a very good example of the core gameplay loop I want to create. At the start, you wake up, naked. There's a massive cliff to the left of you that you can't climb up, and all you can do is run to the right of the screen. So you start running to the right, and there's going to be this broken bridge, and to fix it, you need wood. This is the first obstacle of the game. At this point, the player will be thinking to themselves, how the fuck do I get wood? Well, to get wood, they'll have to collect stones and sticks and fiber to make a pickaxe. With the pickaxe, the player can mine stone geodes to get flint and more stone. And with that, they can make an axe to cut down trees to finally get wood. Now, the player can finally rebuild the bridge and progress into the next area. Now, without telling the player anything, the player has already learnt how to craft tools, how to gather wood, and it has been ingrained into the player's head that to progress, they must not only gather the resources around them, but they must continue heading to the right of the screen, continue overcoming these obstacles. And this is the basis of the game. Now, other than the tutorial section, there's going to be 3 to 4 different areas the player will have to pass through. Each area will have different enemies, different challenges, different loot, different bosses, and throughout this, the player will be slowly becoming more and more well equipped, unlocking different weapons and skills. There will be an overarching story throughout the game that I don't really want to spoil yet, but it will basically unfold as a player continues to progress throughout the game. Anyways, that's sort of the gist of where I want to take the game. I've got like a shit ton of ideas of different obstacles, different bosses, different enemies, which I don't really get into because I feel like it'll spoil, future devlogs. But I will say the next devlog is gonna be good. There's gonna be there's wolves, there's fucking bow and arrows, there's swords, there's blood, there's a whole bunch of shit that I've been doing. So it's gonna be fucking epic. So keep an eye out for that. But anyway, I appreciate you guys, tuning in. I don't know how, but these videos are actually getting views for some fucking reason. So I appreciate that. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to, get the somewhat weekly uploads. But yeah, thanks for watching, and have a fucking brilliant day.